Knuckle, why don't you do the honors of the clap? Welcome to the AbsoluteCast, the tech podcast by Absolute Geeks. This is episode 6. I'm your host, TJ, and with me we have the Android or Samsung fanboy and iOS anti-boy, Udit.
Hi.
And of course, we have our podcast expert, resident spender, and the editor of the episodes, Knuckle.
Too many credentials. Hello there.
Too many credentials. Where are all your badges? Give your business cards out.
I'm wearing the Absolute
Yeah.
t-shirt.
Represent.
Yes.
So, episode 5, what happened? We had some technical issues there. Some kind of strange stuff happening.
So in between the project, my MacBook crashed. But the good thing was that most of the stuff was packed up in my Apple time capsule. And
So your laptop completely died.
Yes.
Dead to the
Yes,
world.
this is the first time this has happened.
Did you figure out why?
No. No, I was too busy recollecting, restoring everything.
Is that the same one that you're using here?
Yeah.
So
But it'll look the same.
you took it for repairs?
No, I had to reboot it.
Oh, you had to just reset
Reboot
it
it.
completely from scratch kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of got formatted.
Right. You formatted your laptop.
Yeah. But luckily, everything is saved in iCloud. I have 2 TB of storage on iCloud.
Resident spender. Yes.
So it took 3 weeks to edit the last episode. But eventually it came out good, I guess.
Yeah, the video came out. So where were your video files stored? Also
On my pen drive. Yeah. External
storage.
pen drive. Yeah,
but then your working project file
Yes.
was not there.
Because shockingly, even though the file size would be not more than 30 GB, but if I'm working on the project in Final Cut Pro, it takes about 150 GB of memory.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It can happen.
So it optimizes.
It renders.
while you're-
It renders everything. So it keeps rendering. It renders your images, your videos, I think, and then it renders a project, and then it has raw files, I think, something like
Yeah.
that. So it's extra space. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. My working project files are insane, but you can work off a hard drive, an SSD or something.
Yes. So what I'm doing right now is I'll simply store everything in the pen drive, external pen drive, and then once I'm done with the project, I'll completely delete it, everything, because it's already online for
Right.
everyone to see. But it should get uploaded first and with no issues, because today I deleted everything.
Right.
So
right.
I give it few days. Yeah.
Fair enough. That's safer.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we learned something. I mean, last episode, what was it? Episode 4, we had an issue with the audio recording.
Yeah.
And episode 5, we had an issue with technical issues with your laptop itself.
In episode 5, I don't know what was the issue, but your voice.
Was very low.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
I tried to tweak it, but
Didn't work.
didn't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Technical issues.
Yeah, we're getting there. Episode 6. Yeah. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
Good? Very good. A lot of stuff's been happening in the tech world in the last few days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, for me, the biggest news was the Huawei sort of ban that's
Yeah.
been imposed
True.
by the Trump administration, which I think is a bit crazy. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
So I read about it a little. It's because of the 5G race.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier,
Is that really? Is that what it's come down to?
Like how it was between US and Russia, the race to space. So the same thing is happening between US and China is way ahead when it comes to technology for 5G. So that has to do something with banning Huawei.
But then there are other phones also, like the Oppo just recently released the Oppo Reno 5G,
Mm-hmm.
and they are collaborating with Etisalat. And I think there are lots of phones which are, doing 5G, and including Chinese
I
ones.
can't imagine it's something to do with 5G. It doesn't make sense. What they claimed was security was the main reason why they wanted to ban them, because something like that.
That's the reason they are giving out.
Yeah.
But I think Huawei cannot be compared with Oppo because Huawei is huge.
Yeah,
it's a second. It's a second
Huawei
in
is
terms
huge.
of market
And
share.
they are way ahead of when it comes to 5G technology. And I read on it that so if a 3GB movie takes you 6 minutes to download using a 4G network, it'll take you 3.2 seconds
Yeah, I read that too.
Damn.
on 5G.
Yeah, but there are limitations to that as well. It doesn't have the same
Yeah.
in terms of coverage. It doesn't have the same. It's very intense in terms of battery consumption as well.
Yeah. that's-
Radiation also. It's quite a lot higher on
Yeah.
5G than compared
Everything needs to be
4G, 3G.
like
Yeah, so you got to consider everything. So the raw processing power required to run 5G is also pretty insane.
Yeah.
So if you have a 5G running phone, and you have the top of the line processor today, your phone's going to be bloody slow. Just the processing power that's required.
Right.
So that's something interesting. But yeah, okay, I didn't know that was one of the for me, it was all about this hoax of security. I think it's a load of crap, in my opinion. It's just going to fragment the OS market, and it's going to fragment a lot of things. Like, I think Huawei is definitely going to take a hit because they do have a lot of dependencies on US, I guess, IP, not physical stuff necessarily. It's the IP that they really rely on. But other things, like a lot of people have been talking about the software that's going to be affected. I don't think Huawei really cares about Google in terms of Google Maps or Gmail or the App Store or any of those things.
So I further read on it. It said like in 2018, first quarter of 2018, they had a meeting with all the app developers.
I've heard about that, yeah.
So I think they are almost ready to...
they had an app store since forever.
Yeah.
So,
but their own platform, I think they'll launch soon.
Own platform is what? Like a whole different operating system?
Yes.
A brand new operating system?
On top of Android, of course.
Yeah, okay, fine. So then it's still Android open source project.
Yes.
And then
AOSP, but it won't have any Google services.
Right, which is fine. I mean, for them, I don't know.
I don't know, Google Maps.
Like Nokia had come up with their Android phones initially like 5-6 years ago, which had Android but didn't have the Play Store. Do you remember those?
Did it have that? No.
Yeah, when it just came into Android. Like
that Meebo thing.
No. After that, there was Android X or something they called it.
Android X?
Yeah, Nokia
really?
Androids, yes.
I have to look into that. I'm not sure. I used to keep a pretty close eye on Nokia at that time, but somehow it seems that I've either forgotten or I've missed it. But interesting, because what I've been seeing on social media is that, how are they going to manage without Google Maps? Or how are they going to manage without Google search? Oh, they'll be fine.
Yeah,
they already
don't use Google search.
China has their own. Yeah. They have their own internet. Like I love to say this because China has their entire own internet, and like Russia has their own internet. North Korea doesn't have one, and then the rest of the world has one. So it's kind of like that where they have their own Google, they have their own social network, they have their own Amazon, they have Alibaba. They don't.
And they have WeChat.
And they have WeChat. Yeah, WeChat they have their own social like instant messaging apps. They have everything, and everything else that they would possibly need. Like, I guess in terms of local stuff, they're fine. Global market, I don't know how it affects. I don't know what's out of their entire market share, like whatever units that they sell, how much of that goes to US market. But I do know that if I were a customer and I don't get Gmail as an app, for example, I don't think I'm going to get a Huawei. It doesn't make sense for me personally. Yeah. But Google Maps, on the other hand, I'm more than happy to use Here Maps or something.
Yeah, we have alternatives.
Yeah.
We have alternatives.
So it'll make sense not to use Google Maps on a Huawei phone because Huawei anyways won't have any Google services. Google Maps works best when it's integrated with, it talks to every Google services possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there are no Google services, then Google Maps is pretty much nothing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And the other thing that I felt like the new Lenovo phone that came out, and it's just sort of flown under the radar, and I know people are kind of talking about it, but I don't know, it's not got any buzz or hype at all.
Yeah,
it looks pretty cool.
I heard MKB actually said that the camera is bad, like
is
really
it bad.
Really? Yeah.
I don't know. That's the whole thing. I just saw part of the launch where they were showing the swivel mechanism and the panorama effect, which is kind of cool. It's innovative.
Oh, so it takes a panorama how?
Yeah. So the essentially the camera sort of folds out, right?
Okay.
So as it's folding out, it'll start taking. It'll like take a. You can kind of say like it's doing the mechanism and taking the panorama on its own. So it'll start off this way, and then eventually you'll be like in the selfie.
Oh, okay.
It'll be like a selfie with of you
so
in the end.
So you have to like
panorama,
think before taking the shot, like where you.
Or you do it like this, and then it'll just maybe something like that. That's the way I thought about it. But it's.
Or you can just crop it. I mean, if you don't want your face, you can just crop that part.
I mean, there's that too. No, I'm just saying if you wanted to take a panorama in the traditional sense. Then you hold the phone away from you, and then just hold it away from you. Press the button, and then it should just do the whole thing by itself. Mm-hmm. It's cool because I mean I still like the Apple camera's panorama effect is one of the best that I've ever experienced. And if this can sort of compete with that in terms of ease of use and just general coming out with a good panorama almost every time, then that's a win.
That reminds me of when I was in my Apple days when I was
Oh, yeah.
Apple fanboy.
Ooh.
When was
Ooh,
it? When
the
was
Samsung
When there was
anti-iOS
Steve
boy.
Jobs around, basically. I was a fan of
it? Apple
Steve Jobs.
4,
The work of Steve
iPhone
Jobs.
4 then.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little after that. Just
Okay.
when, yeah.
So you're a Steve Jobs fanboy.
Yes, I am. And so it reminds me of Cycloramic, the app.
Oh yeah, you'd
The
keep it and then it
panorama,
would
yeah, you just
vibrate.
keep it
Oh my god,
That was the
it was
coolest
best
thing.
on iPhone 5.
Yes.
Yeah,
I had
because
it.
it had the flat bottom. Yeah, that was the coolest thing. I remember seeing it on Shark Tank. So he went. I think he pitched it on Shark Tank for the first time,
Okay.
and it was really cool. So I don't know. Did you guys see this episode of Shark Tank when it went? So he goes like, okay, I'm gonna take a panorama. He puts the phone's already on this platform, and then they just sort of he presses the button and then it does its thing, and everybody's just like, okay, so how much is this for? And he goes like, it's like $1.99 or whatever it was. They're like, oh, okay, so what's your margin? And he goes like, oh, 30% goes to Apple or something like that. And he's just being like very chill about it. And they go like, so does that work for all iPhones? Like, what's the device? And they're like, he's like, there's no device. It's just the software. And then they all just go like,
Okay.
what? There's no device? And my mind itself got blown because he's just using the vibrator motor and then vibrates the phone to move. It was phenomenal. That's smart development.
Yeah, but that app doesn't work anymore.
It can't. I mean, your phone can't stand on its own.
It's a rounded bottom.
No, my friend has an iPhone 5.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it doesn't
tried.
work?
It didn't work.
No, it used to work on 5S. Cycloramic.
No, that time. But I
Yeah,
tried
that
like
time.
last year
Oh, okay. I
because
don't know, maybe
he's
this
still
time.
using.
Or
an
maybe
iPhone
Apple
5.
got pissed off and they're like,
Yeah, or
you don't get access to all the access of our vibrator motors. These vibrators are only for us.
very very selective.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. What else has been happening? We had Game of Thrones finally get over. You guys aren't fans.
Yeah.
Finally.
You watch Game of Thrones?
No.
No, not me.
He's anti Game of Thrones as well.
Yes.
You're a
Take note.
you're an in between. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of glad that it got over, but very disappointing season.
Yeah,
And-
I heard.
And I was seeing the ratings of some other endings of different seasons, series, and Lost. I don't know. Did you guys ever watch Lost?
No.
No.
So Lost had a series ending of 8.2,
Okay.
and in my opinion, there could be no worse series finale ever. Because it's like I genuinely think those writers should have been banned from writing for at least 6 months to a year, just on ethical grounds. Because that was such a bad ending. I don't know how many seasons was Lost, and then the ending of it, spoiler alert, was basically everybody's dead.
Okay.
Why the hell were we watching this series? They're already dead. There was no other outcome but them being dead.
So after the ending, did you like feel lost?
Yeah, I was not lost. I realized that they were lost. It was the only people lost were the writers in that. It was ridiculous. They could have done something so much better. And Game of Thrones, I don't think was as bad as that, but it got a 4 point something on IMDb or
4?
whatever. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's all because of expectations.
Yeah,
and
the hype.
Yeah,
hype, yeah.
Yeah, I think Lost by that point had already died down. So Game of
Yeah,
Thrones
Game
has
of
been
Thrones was on
keeping it
its
up. Yeah,
peak, yeah.
that season was really.
But any such shows, they don't live up to the expectations when it comes to finale. Breaking Bad, which I love. I'm like,
Oh,
I
yes.
love the
What's wrong with the finale of that?
nothing, but people didn't like it. Many of the
Oh,
people.
not bad.
It wasn't bad. It was great actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was the perfect
It was
ending.
a good
Yeah,
ending.
yeah,
Yeah,
it-
whatever.
Yeah, but
No, because they wanted a happy scenario.
yeah, you cannot expect a happy scenario in
Yeah,
these kind of
true.
shows.
Yeah, and they gave us a happy scenario in Game of Thrones, which doesn't make
They did?
Yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
ridiculous. This is the kind of show where you're like, okay, this guy has to be the only one, so he's not gonna die, and then suddenly he'll trip and fall and die on a blade. Like it can be the most insignificant death.
It's like, ouch.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, he's dead now. Okay, well that sucks. Now who's gonna be the ruler? So that's the kind of show that it is. It just throws you completely out of whack and you can't expect what's gonna happen in the storyline. And in this, it's just like, yeah, okay, that was an easy one. Everybody's happy. The whole world is all ha la di da and stuff. No, that's not what we wanted. I actually expected, part of me, spoiler alert again, kind of expected the whatever her name is, Dany, to live on, kill everybody, and go on a rampage. It would have been like an absolutely horrific ending. But if you think about it, it's just kind of like, okay, we went through 8 seasons and still we went through all this ups and downs. So many people gave their life and whatever, yet nothing changed. A tyrant still rules. Just a different tyrant with a different name and different agenda, even though it's under the guise of good. Like that would have been a more kick-ass
And
ending.
yeah, that kind of ending suits the show as well.
It does suit the show. It
Yeah.
slaps you in the face. It's like, ha ha, silly you for believing something good will come out of this.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that, and they went with like the easy ending. They're like, okay, she's dead. In like
Yeah.
the most awkward makeout session ever I've ever witnessed. It's so weird. The whole thing just, anyways, whatever. Let's move on from that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Silence your phone, Knuckle. What
I
is
thought
this?
I did.
You did. Wow. This
Very bad.
Straight back to
Very bad.
life.
Is that parking? Is that a parking reminder? I just got a
I
parking
didn't
reminder.
park. I didn't put parking.
Oh, neither did I.
Very bad.
Oh, neither did I.
We didn't-
actually.
we
Very
didn't do
good. RTA, but Dubai police, if you guys are listening, find these two.
Yeah.
And then find
When the episode comes out, yeah.
What's
sure.
when the episode comes out.
What's the code?
What's the code?
382F. Yes, we're doing this on our podcast episode. I'm
And
gonna do
mine-
this as well.
Awesome.
And mind you,
So-
I'm not gonna edit this part.
No, of course not.
It'll
Why
be
should you?
too difficult for two.
Or, or you're just too lazy.
Yeah.
Tell us the truth, man.
Next time we'll just write down the section in one of the note-taking apps that we talk about.
Yeah. So as it turns out, I have an update from episode 5. Enoch Pay got an app update in the last few days, in the last few weeks since we recorded, and it fills up the entire screen now.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but it still doesn't work. I got to the point where, okay, so another thing is that it keeps asking me to log in, which
Okay.
is frustrating because just remember me. How hard is that?
So every time you open the app, you have to log in?
And put my full username and password in
Ow.
every single time. It's so slow. It's so annoying. And then once I'm done with that, I have to find the station. I have to find the pump, which doesn't take all that long to find. Whatever. It's a little slow. It's clunky. Whatever. I find it, and then when I hit pay, you wait, and then it never happens. So it's just a complete disappointment. I tried to use it with MPay or Dubai Now. It didn't work as well. It's really weird. But yeah. But that kind of. Oh, you have something to say?
On the another update on the Dubai Now app, I got an SMS from Smart Dubai saying donate an iftar easily on the Dubai Now app. So even
Oh,
I
they do
think
that.
that's available during this season on the
They
app.
do it every iftar, every Ramadan. MPay did it as well. They started. They have a regular donations thing, anyways. For last year, every time you made a payment, they'd give you like a pop-up, donate $10 for the year of
Okay.
Zayed every single time. You couldn't get rid of it. It was a little annoying, but it's like whatever. I do it once a month.
This is an
anyways.
SMS.
Oh,
Yeah.
they don't send me SMSs, but that's how it is. All right. Other thing, I don't know. You guys know about the RTA fine discount thing?
yes.
That's a pretty cool
Fine
scheme.
discount?
So
So
if-
starting
yeah.
this year, if you have a traffic fine, a traffic violation, like there are certain categories. I don't think it applies to everything.
It
But-
doesn't apply to Salik or parking tickets.
Parking tickets and Salak don't count,
Yeah.
but speeding it does.
Okay.
Like
Speeding, lane change.
lane change, those kind of things. So those
Yeah,
those
they'll
things
get
all
in.
are a part of this. Where if you haven't got a violation in 3 months, you get a 25% discount.
Yeah, it's been there for a few months now.
Yeah, start of this year. So
Yeah.
that's something that they had. But then there was a little flaw in the system. So say for example, my car renews in December,
Right.
and the scheme started on
Okay.
January. I got a fine on February. How do I get to the 12 months?
True.
Without-
So you don't have to clear your fines now.
So now they removed the fine clearance
Right.
thing,
Oh.
so you can renew your car without clearing your
So then,
fines.
for how long can you carry for the fines? They haven't mentioned that.
They
right?
haven't mentioned that. That's a little unclear to me, but
1 year.
anyways,
It's always be 1 year. I'm thinking.
yeah. Normally you'd finish your fine when you have to renew your car,
Yeah.
but they've removed that rule.
Yeah.
So you can renew your car without clearing your fines, so that you can go for the 12 months and get a full 100% discount.
Yeah.
So something like that.
No, so but if you don't pay a fine for 1 year, I think there'll be some penalty.
Fine on the fine.
And then you wait for another year, and that gets taken away. So, or does that not work? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Cause I mean, I got a fine after I think 2 or 3 years. I got 2 fines
Oh.
in about 2 or 3 weeks. I think I was just in a rush and I wasn't paying attention, and you tend to go just a little faster than you intended to, and
Yeah.
got a speeding ticket and something or the other. And so I was really upset about that, but I was like, okay, I made a mistake. I need to learn from it. And I learned. So now obviously I'm paying more attention everywhere. So I've not got a fine since then. That was March, I think, or February,
just-
something like that.
oh.
So it's this year, but like a few months ago. And then for Ramadan, they gave me a 25% discount. and that just felt like a gift because I still got my lesson, but I got the gift of paying potentially.
ED,
What is that?
ED, you got your ED.
I have no idea what that means, man.
ED.
Eid gift.
So
Oh, that's what it's
give
called.
ED to
Oh,
children.
right, that's right.
yeah, I remember like
It's not
I was
yet,
on. I was coming from Academic City, and I was listening to podcast, the minimalist podcast. They were talking about how do you save money, and I was like,
He needs that.
So that's why I was listening to it, and
Do they have a paid app for that?
they have a paid subscription, but I didn't go for it.
Oh, he didn't go for
You
it.
work very counterintuitive, isn't it? Like if you pay for a subscription, then we tell you how to save
Save
money.
money, yeah. Yeah, why not? If like,
Yeah.
what do you do with Entertainer? Isn't that exactly the same thing?
It is.
Well,
Zomato.
yeah.
Or Zomato Gold?
Sure.
So, do you pay for Zomato Gold?
Yeah.
And
Entertainer.
No. Entertainer.
okay, fine, whatever. But you pay for one thing and it gets you discounts.
Yeah.
But do you pay 50 dirhams a month for free international voice calling?
No.
So-
Deal of the day, guys! Deal of the day! Did you see that?
I saw
At the
that.
slot? Oh my god! Wow! Ridiculous. How is that a deal of the day? It's exactly the same deal every day.
Yeah, but they are giving it for free.
For
That
50 dirhams
message.
a
That
month,
message.
yeah.
You're.
It was
able
on
to
the
see-
app. I would get it for free anyways. So
Which
ridiculous.
app?
The Etisalat app.
This one.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I check how many minutes I have left on my international credit. and-
Okay.
Yeah. Which reminds me of another thing. I've not written it down, but you know the 600 numbers, right? 600 numbers?
No.
Maybe
It,
800?
no, 600 numbers.
I don't know.
So Emirates NBD, what
Right.
number do you call?
Yeah, 600 something.
600
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
So
yeah.
600 is like the UAE
800. Oh.
UAE version of an 800 number. No, but it's a UAE version
Yeah.
of an 800 number because you pay for that.
Okay.
It's not free.
Okay.
It has been a general perception for everybody that it's like, oh, it's an
Toll
800
free,
number,
yeah.
it's free. But actually, if you go and try to look at how to subscribe to this, I've done this a few years ago. The way it's being pitched to companies is that it costs them some amount of money per month to get this 600 number,
Mhm.
and then the users pay to call into it.
But then behind your card it says toll free, right?
No,
That number.
no, not on a 600 number.
Okay. Never
It's not
mind.
toll free. So what's weird is that I, as a company, pay extra to get a 600 number,
Okay.
and then the people who have to call me pay the same rate that they would to call me anyways. So why do I have to pay for that premium number and not just get a 04 number?
Right.
What's the advantage of that? Is that like getting like a 3-digit number plate?
Something like that.
It's ridiculous.
Just looks cooler.
And my biggest problem with that, I don't mind this. It's fine, I guess. Whatever. It's an easier number for me to call. But if I have local calling credit, so I have like 300 or 400 MB, 300 or 400 minutes per month that I can call
Mhm.
as part of my package. These 600 numbers are not included in that.
Oh.
Okay.
So I could have had like 100 minutes left towards the end of the month, and I call the 600 number and it'll charge me for that.
Yeah, those are considered like special numbers.
Yeah, but
Special
why?
numbers.
Because they are special.
Special. They sure as hell don't make me feel special. My bank account feels special. It's getting attention and getting reduced. Oh gosh. Anyways, so that's something else. Moving on. Let's get on to the episode.
Yeah.
That was a whole lot.
By
of
the way,
banter.
like elections got.
Oh yeah,
The results came out.
Indian elections, not UAE elections.
Indian election. UAE elections.
I mean, that's pretty decided here,
Yeah.
not it? But yeah, Indian elections. It's fine.
So I've been using Nokia 9 since yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and what I've noticed is like I'm more knowledgeable. It just notifies me of like Google News and stuff like
Did you subscribe to this stuff?
nothing.
No.
You didn't pay for it?
No, Google News you don't have to pay for it. I'm like
Oh, yeah.
there are subscription for New York Times and all.
He recanted immediately. He's like, I can't still pay.
Whenever I see subscribe here, I get tempted, but
Yeah.
Oh,
like
keep it
So
in your
yeah.
pants.
this this thing I've noticed, like I'm more knowledgeable because of using Android. That's how
Nice.
I know about the 5G stuff.
Right.
That's how I know about elections. I never took elections seriously. What's going on? How many seats they need? Never. But now I do.
So Android is the way to go.
Android is somewhere to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's that general statistic that iOS users are smarter than Android users or something like that. Like you have so much more % chance to be successful if you're an iOS user. And if you think about it, that's the most bullshit thing I've ever heard. The whole reason that makes sense is because if you have the money to buy an iPhone, you're probably already in a wealthy situation.
Right.
If you have an Android, your majority Android sales is going to people who are on a lower income scale.
Feature phones.
Yeah, they're on a lower income scale. So obviously they're not gonna have the same platform to be successful as someone who has an iPhone. Come on. What a made up statistic. It's ridiculous.
We know people who are using Android and are successful.
Lots of them.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Oh, he's...
Yeah.
Whoa, what's happening over there? Was it I would scoot just a bit away?
How you doing?
Alright, so then let's move into our episode, note-taking apps.
Yep.
That's what we're going to be talking about in this episode 6 of AbsoluteCast. And what's the whole point of note-taking apps?
To take notes?
So you used to take your notes on that bullet journal, right?
Yes.
Do you bring it with you by any chance?
Yes, I do.
Why don't you take it out?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. So obviously one of the things that your smartphone replaces is notes, how you take notes.
Right.
Because it's handy, it's easy, it's convenient. Ooh, show and tell. Check us out on YouTube so you can see Knuckles' bullet journal.
Yeah. So now...
Dear diary.
The journal says bullet journal.
It's very literal.
Okay. So I was talking about bullet journal. It makes you more productive.
And
But...
there's a bug on it. Is it not
Yeah,
a bug?
I cut it out.
Let me have a see. Let me have a see.
Basically, the journal has a bug on it.
The bullet journal. So how does it make you more productive?
Because every day you need to like take out time and complete your task and everything. So that way. But now I'm only using it for making storyboards for
Storyboards?
video. So
Wow.
so like this. Each scene, which angle the
Wow,
camera
yeah.
would be. So
Makes sense. So why did you move off?
So I started with bullet journal twice in past 6 months, and the reason for leaving bullet journaling is when I'm traveling.
Right.
There's no point of carrying this
Right.
when I'm traveling, and I'm not gonna carry my bullet journal everywhere. And also, it doesn't have a proper database, so if I want to search for something, there's no way. Yeah, there's no way.
True.
Like
So-
either I can scan everything and by OCR and character recognition, but I won't do
That
that.
defeats the purpose, kind of, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I used to have this little tiny flip notebook. It's about that big,
Mm-hmm.
2 3 inches big, and then I used to keep it in my back pocket with a foldable pen that would kind of attach to it. So
Wow.
every time I needed something, I would just take that out, flip it open. The pen would fold open, and I'd take whatever note I needed to, and then it was mostly important
Yeah.
information that I would need and in certain situations. And it was really, really good. It was one of the most effective things I'd done. But then at some point you realize that either you run out of paper, your ink runs out, or you leave it somewhere or something like that.
Right.
The one thing that you will always have with you is your phone.
Yeah.
So for me, that's why I think a note-taking app is quite crucial. And I mean, okay, I'll start with the app that I'm talking about. And for me, it's straight up with keeping with my trend is vanilla Apple native Notes app. And I've been using it for a long time. It's not the best in the world, but it does have some interesting features. So for me,
but it's getting better with that. Every year it's getting better.
It's getting
They're adding
better.
new features. Okay.
Yeah, it is. You're right. But then I still feel like there are better note-taking apps out there.
Definitely.
So the only reason I use this is, I guess, primarily the fact that I can use it on my phone, my laptop, and on the browser whenever, if I so choose to, while being free. So the entire thing is free. I can upload images into that. I can do checklists and stuff like that, which are not, again, excuse me, the checklist thing is just, it's not as good as a lot of the other ones have.
Yeah.
But it's kind of okay. Gets the job done. I think one of the other things I don't like about it is that the sharing ability on a note in the Apple Notes app is not that great.
Okay.
So if you want to collaborate on a note or a document, the best thing is Google Docs. Almost nothing compares. Office 365 kind of has caught up a little bit, but nothing compares to Google Docs. And uh, Apple Notes eventually added this ability to share your notes amongst people, and then multiple people can edit it. But it doesn't work like if you both are on the same note at the same time. There can be issues. So I've seen where either my stuff gets overwritten or my special lady friend's stuff gets overwritten, because she's the one who, like, we do our hashtag strategy and everything is on notes, and then we are both on the same one, so we can copy and paste depending on what we want to do. And then we have like a note for some information like our Diva account number and things like Emicool customer ID. Those kind of things are in one note so that we both are synced at least on the basic information. We don't tend to keep passwords and stuff on here because it's just not safe. But basic information which we need at any given point in time, that's kind of there. And for example, like I tend to write like speeches if I gave a toast for my friend on his wedding. So I wrote this on here and then I shared it with her so that she could kind of read it. And those things are really cool. So, but the main point is it's basic stuff. You can do like basic formatting, bold, underline, all that kind of stuff. You can do some bullets and you can do some checklists and you can put images and do the markup. That's really cool. But it really gets exciting when you go into maybe cross it with an iPad or something like that. Those are cool. The scanning thing is really cool. So you can actually put a picture and then take a picture. It becomes like a scan and goes into this. But then from there you can export it and send it as an email or whatever.
PDF,
Yeah, so those are kind of cool. But I think overall it's average. It does have like this weird folder system which is really clunky and it doesn't seem to work. And if I want to use my main notes on another Mac, like a work Mac, I have to log into iCloud onto my work computer, and I don't want to do that. So that's a bit annoying. So I wish there was like a better way of managing all that. But I quite like it, primarily because I can use it on my Mac as well, and I can just start taking notes over here, and I do that. If it were up to me though, I've been trying out this other app called Bear. I think I was telling you about it a while ago. So Bear is really cool. The interface is phenomenal. The user experience is amazing. You can write in Markdown. You can write like little code snippets also. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff, and it looks phenomenal. And you get theming and all that stuff. The only problem I have with that is that if I want to sync, I have to pay for it. So that's where that will So Knuckle, if you want to pay for my subscription of Bear,
the best feature in Bear app is that. So I think in between you can just put /name and it will automatically organize your notes. So that feature is really good. Yeah,
the organization in Bear is very unique.
Yeah,
I've not seen it anywhere else. So you can do. I think it's also by hashtags and /
hashtags. Then I'm confusing.
There are two ways to do it. So there are two ways to categorize. You can have folders, and folders I think with a / maybe. I don't remember exactly. And then there's another one where you can tag it. So it can be anywhere in your document. So say you're writing like a thing, and then in the middle you realize, I want to tag it with these few things. Just convert them into tags, and it just sorts itself out, and you can sift through and search very easily. That's something that on the Notes app it doesn't work as well. Apple Notes app. And search has been weird for me. Like a lot of my older notes just either are disappeared or I can't get access to anymore.
Disappeared.
I don't want to say disappeared because I kind of started finding a lot of them again. But to me, for a while, they were all gone.
That means you have a lot of notes.
I have a lot of notes. I have a lot of. Let me tell you the number that I have. 439 notes.
Oh, nice. How many do I have?
In one stream.
I should check.
Oh, that's only on one account, and then I have 282 on another account.
Oh, I have 190.
Yeah, I take a lot of notes. Like everything goes into a note. Like all my TJ's tech stuff goes onto notes. If I'm making any list, it goes here. It's just easier for me because it's on my phone. I can copy paste it, throw it around. Very simple. Once sharing worked out, it's brilliant. That's the reason I use it. There's another one that I want to quickly talk about. Is this app called SomNote? So
SomNote.
It's SomNote. SomNote.
Okay.
And the interface is really nice. It's a very basic note-taking system where you can take notes. You can sort of categorize them into folders and add colors to folders, and then you can even have you can add I think icons and things like that to them, but I think that's more like in the title of the note. Or what else was there? There were some colors you can do.
Yeah, I'm just seeing on the Play Store for Android. Yeah, it is quite colorful.
It's really nice, and it's got like a really good free version, which it has I think up to 1 GB of total storage that you can use. But it has ads in the free version,
Oh.
which I'm kind of okay with. It's not that intuitive, to be honest.
Okay.
But the biggest problem that I have with them right now is if you look at their app on iOS, it was updated last in March of 2018.
Okay.
So that's
Wow,
over a year
over
ago.
a year ago.
And their Android one was in December of 2018.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's in December.
that's really weird. So I don't know why they stopped supporting it. It's run by this company called Wizard Works Inc.
Yeah. I see that.
And they, if you go, we were just talking about the maps thing, right? So if you go to their website, Wizard Works Inc. So they're a company based in South Korea, from Seoul. And if you go to their website and you see their contact us or where's our location, they have a whole different map
Oh, okay.
service that I've never seen or heard of or anything. So they're not using Google Maps. No one cares. Like, they're fine. But I think that's it. Those are the apps that I want to talk about. Nothing too exciting or anything. I think there was one thing that I had seen. I can't remember if it was. I'm pretty sure it was in the Notes app for iPad, where you could actually have a ruler.
Oh yes, that is there in iPhone.
No, I don't think so.
I don't have an iPhone.
I don't think. I don't think you can do that, because what would I have to do? I'd have to create a new note.
If you click on plus sign.
Yeah, and then take a photo. Add
No,
a
no, no.
sketch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So this is what I like. So you get this little ruler.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to draw something, like I can actually make. So I can take a pencil, and then you see this. Like,
yeah. Oh,
it'll
nice.
make it like exactly on that.
Oh wow.
And then I can take if I click on the ruler again. So I can take the ruler and I can move it around,
Oh wow.
and it gives you the degree of, and then you can start drawing again.
Wow.
This sketching thing is phenomenal, especially that ruler. This
Yeah.
virtual ruler, and you can make straight lines with your phone. You can get pretty precise. And I thought it was only for iPad, actually. That's my bad. But I have used this to illustrate a point in a business meeting. I had an iPad and I had to just draw something. So you have those. This is before the Apple Pencil and all that was there, and I had that stupid pudgy little stylus kind of thing, and I was able to illustrate what I wanted to illustrate in a very nice way. Got the idea across, and it's a good tool.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most powerful features in this, along with the document scanning thing. I think the whole thing just works really well.
Yeah. For document scanning thing, I use Notes only, because before that, I used to use Evernote premium version.
Evernote, yeah.
Oh,
Evernote premium version to get the scanning feature.
Right, of course.
So I'm glad that it's included in a Notes app now.
There was also one more, right? Jomdoc? No. What's the name of that? LinkedIn had this scanning thing. They
No,
had it-
Evernote has
Was
Stitch.
it Evernote then?
Evernote
maybe it was
Stitch.
just
Yeah,
Evernote.
it has Stitch.
It was a separate app that would.
Yeah, Evernote has Stitch, contacts.
Yeah.
So you can
okay,
give your phone to.
But
your
but
friend.
they bought those out.
Oh,
They
yeah.
didn't build all of them, I think.
But then now it's discontinued.
Yeah, they merged it all into one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, that's mine. I'm
Oh.
done.
That was
Okay. So
quick. You go.
okay, so basically, since he introduced me as Samsung lover,
Yeah.
I'm using Samsung, so obviously I'm using S Note on my Samsung, and having the S Pen, of course, is the the biggest advantage of this. I can draw, use different kinds of brushes, of course, right? And
Do you want to mirror your?
Sure.
Because
I
then
don't
I'll be the only
mind,
one then mirroring.
Yeah, so
Mirroring.
connect it and then I'll.
Okay, I'm just.
We're gonna mirror your phone
Yeah.
onto the screen.
Maybe work on landscape mode, because Android has that.
Okay, I'll.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
So-
yeah,
Nice.
okay. So basically.
For those who are listening and not watching, head over to our YouTube channel and watch this
Yeah.
video so that you can actually see.
So basically, yeah, I can just write or draw anything. I can choose the kind of brushes that I want. Change the color.
With your
change
pointy
the
thing.
Size. Yeah, with my pointy thing. Yeah, sure.
Nice.
So,
Does it have a ruler?
No, I don't think it.
No,
has, I think it has.
But I
some
mean, you do
different
have.
shapes.
You could literally put a ruler on.
Yeah, you can literally
You
do
could,
that.
because you got it like a pencil kind of thing.
Yeah. So.
That would be
yeah,
awkward, but
I can.
And
choose
there is
different
that's a ruler?
brushes.
No.
No, it's not a. It's the size of.
that's
the,
insane, man. I do know that this was one of the main
Oh.
attractions of the original Note as well, right? It
Yes,
wasn't
it
so
is, it
advanced,
is,
but
it
it was It was pretty cool.
So yeah, all of this is there, and then you have the option of checklist and stuff. So you can lock your notes with a code, of course. And well,
You mean password to get into your note?
note individual notes.
A password to get into
password
into
to get
each note.
Yes.
That's cool. So that's something that the Apple Notes doesn't have at all. In fact, I think SomNote might have it. I'm not sure, but I've not seen that. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, here's the checklist thing. I can just put checklist and yeah, whatever, tick mark once I'm done. And of course, there's a bold, italics, and the basic formatting features. So yeah, that's there. But it can be used only on the phone. There is no way to access it on the web, or does not have a desktop
Okay.
app.
Oh, so how do you get your notes off?
How
If
do
you ever need to use your note,
okay,
like
there is an option for it to sync to your Evernote. So you can log in via Evernote and it will sync to your Evernote account. Of course, there you can't edit the drawings, but then you have your text which you can read if you log into your Evernote.
so why not just do it in Evernote directly?
Because in Evernote does not have all these, and especially because this is the S Pen and not a regular stylus,
Oh.
it's compatible with. It's used best with the Samsung apps because other
Right.
apps would detect it just as a regular stylus or just as your finger.
Mhm.
But in this, now suppose I'm editing something, and so if I use my finger, the note goes up and down. But if I use the S Pen, it draws.
Right.
So yeah, the other apps won't detect it differently.
Right.
So that's the advantage of using S Note or Evernote or any other note taking app where you can draw stuff.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah,
So-
and yeah.
So
it
how
can
do you take
also-
notes? With the S Pen only, or you use
No, I
the
usually
keyboard?
type. I usually type because I'm
Okay.
I'm not drawing stuff always.
Do you take a lot of notes though on a regular basis? Like,
Well, yeah. In this, I was just seeing that I have about 199 notes in this. It showed me somewhere. Maybe it was in the other orientation. I don't know. Yeah, 191 notes. It says there on the top.
right on the top.
So yeah, I do take notes. So yeah.
This looks very much like the Google Keep interface. That annoying. I don't like the Google Keep interface at all.
No, but I
think
told you can.
change-
Yeah, you can
change it to
yeah,
list
yes,
view like
this is
this.
the
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
But if you write list, it'll still show you like
And
one
there's,
24 size font list.
Oh yeah.
If you just type one word.
right.
That makes
And
sense.
so yeah, this is my app of choice. But then of course, this is on the Samsung only. There's another app called Color Note, which I used to use before I had the Samsung. Amazing app, but it's minimalist. It doesn't do much, but why I like it, it's very light. The file size itself is less than 1 MB to download. It's
Oh,
just
wow, yeah.
890 KB. And okay, I'll just
You
show
still have that?
Yes.
And
Well,
then
I
you-
hadn't used it since a long time.
File size is
What? 29th
8.
October 2013.
Yeah, right. Okay, so okay, I'm mirroring everything here. Okay, so yeah, I just created this note after downloading this app again on my phone, but then it syncs. It can sync with your Facebook or Gmail or your regular email.
Facebook.
I mean, for syncing, that doesn't sync with your Facebook account per se, but you
So
can log
it's
in.
all your you log in with
yeah,
your
you
Facebook.
can log in
okay.
with your Facebook. So when you just log into another device using the same credentials, you get all your notes. But again, this is also not on desktop.
Oh,
For some reason, I've never had to use an app which can be used on mobile and desktop. I just noticed this when you were talking about yours.
right.
But I don't know. I'm just fine with this. Like we're talking about the traditional ways of taking notes, like a bullet journal.
right.
If you're working on a laptop, you still have to go to that journal and take your notes. So
right.
this is my phone is my primary way where I take my notes.
But you're not much of a laptop user, anyways, right? Now you have
Yeah,
become.
now I have.
But before
yeah,
you weren't.
No, before I wasn't.
So
this-
that's. Maybe
And also,
that's
you
where that
don't
comes
take
from.
many notes as well, I think.
Well, I do take notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I kind of didn't talk about this much, but I don't take all my notes on Apple Notes. So there
Okay.
are some, because I do a lot of coding and a lot of
Mhm.
programming related stuff, or I'm doing project management stuff, so I have to take a lot of tasks, and it's like intermediary. It's just a place to put intermediary text.
Mm-hmm.
I have my text editor or my code editor called Sublime, which is
Yeah.
what I use for that.
Okay.
And I use it for like I use it in the weirdest of ways for doing like multi-cursor stuff, so I can have in the same document I can have like 50 different cursors all like
Okay.
jumping. It may not make any sense, but it helps you with multitasking and optimizing your workflow in a way that it just works for me as a developer. Maybe I think that's why I like to do it that way. But it's not my note taking app because it doesn't sync with my phone or anything like that. It's for work. So when I'm working on my laptop, those notes are all there.
Okay.
And yeah, I really like it for that. But yeah, that's the opposite of what you're talking about,
Right.
where this Sublime is just for my Mac,
Right.
as opposed to something that works for my phone as well. So
Right.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, in this also you can lock your notes individually, but there isn't a way to use the fingerprint scanner to unlock it. You have to put in the password. on
also
the keyboard.
the S Note uses a fingerprint to unlock.
No, I think I'm not sure actually. I haven't used the lock note in a while. Okay, let me check now that you're saying. Okay, let me just.
So
Lock,
so
okay.
this SomNote, the
Yeah,
one that
no,
I was talking about.
it does use fingerprint or iris or any way of unlocking it.
Okay.
There's not. Yeah, you can unlock it however you want. I mean the regular ways. But the color note uses only the keyboard. You have to enter text or number, whatever.
Okay.
You have to use the keyboard. You can't use a fingerprint.
You know what? I just learned something. You can actually lock notes on
Okay.
Apple Notes. I genuinely didn't know about this. You swipe on the note, and then you get this little lock icon,
Wow.
and then you can put a password, and it uses Face ID as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I genuinely did not know about this. Well, I learn something new every day. That's pretty cool. I'm impressed with that. Now I'm gonna put passwords on it. No, I'm not.
And of course, as the name suggests, color note. There are different colors. You can sort it by colors if you want, or you can just have a regular yellow or white, whatever color you want, and you can rename your colors to whatever thing.
Oh,
you
nice.
like. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So yeah, that's pretty much what it can do, and it can take a backup on your memory card also, as well as online sync to your whatever account you want. So yeah, that's what it does. It also has checklists.
Right.
That's
So
yeah.
I think most note apps tend to have
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
some kind of checklist.
So it's pretty basic.
But do you use note apps for checklists?
I
Like a
have,
to-do list or something?
Yeah, I have a couple of them. Not very often.
Yeah, so you don't use your note app.
No,
You use like a dedicated checklist
no,
app.
No, I do use my note app.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay.
Okay.
So I made a note of like places to visit, like some new places in Dubai. You know, they keep opening every few days. There's a new place popping up. So yeah, I had a checklist and then I went on ticking. It felt like nice, like okay, wow, I've been to all these places already.
Right. That's interesting.
So
And-
yeah,
One app for you. Remember a few days back I was telling you there was one app that back to work guys use.
Mm-hmm.
That's called NV Alt.
NV Alt, yeah.
Yeah, they say it's the best. It's a very good app for like who are developers.
Yeah, I heard them talk about it, but I never used it. I don't know, I
Maybe
never
give it a
looked
try.
into it.
I downloaded it, but the interface, I think it's for a very specific profession.
I think it's I as far as I know, NV Alt is for like coding through the terminal. Is what I understood. Maybe I because I haven't looked into it, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I need to look into it a bit more.
Okay.
and ColorNote also has widgets which you can put on your home screens, so you can see the note right there if you want.
Which you can't do on an
Right.
iOS anyways, so. No, you do have like the widgets where you can put like some notes there. I don't know what, I've not used it as well because I just like to keep it within my folder. I know that they have something.
You can add widgets for a quick note.
Yeah, to create a new note, right?
Yeah, create and also like recent notes. Maybe it'll.
I think it's a recent notes. Yeah, it's just my like the top most recent notes and then some quick actions to add some new notes. Oh, which lets me scan a document very quickly. Okay, interesting.
And well, of course, in the phone, I also have the feature of the screen off memo. So I just take out my S Pen when the screen is off and I start writing
Oh yeah, that's right.
whatever. So it just.
But that's an
pops
OS
there.
feature, right? Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a phone. Yeah, phone feature, not something that you could get on all phones. So yeah, that's there, and I can pin it and just start writing it from there. Continue the next time.
Nice.
I think the TV is also OLED. Everything is black.
Everything's black.
Yeah.
Black on black.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just switch off my screencast.
Yeah. go
Okay,
for it.
I'll screencast mine then.
Yep.
Because I'm also using Android.
So now that was yours. Yours was the Samsung S Note app
Yes.
that comes with your Note 8.
Yes, Note 8.
Okay. But I guess the Note 9 and 10 would have some variation of this
Yeah,
with an updated.
perhaps. Yeah.
How do I cast my phone.
Apple,
The
no,
same,
Air,
right?
oh, you're on
Yeah.
Chromecast. Okay. So, my bad.
Do I need to be in the same Wi-Fi?
I think you do. Are you not on the same Wi-Fi?
No.
Why don't you share the Wi-Fi? Oh wait, you can't.
Okay.
All
Because I'm
right.
Android.
Oh yeah, you need to be on the same.
Okay.
Let
So
me see.
So that's not gonna work.
I'll show it on my laptop.
Yeah,
So
go for it.
the app that I'm going to talk about is called Notion.
Give me your phone. Let me try to fiddle with that while we wait for.
Okay, so the app is Notion. So I use Notion for literally everything.
Okay.
But because we're talking about note-taking apps, I'll only show you the note-taking features I use in Notion.
Okay.
So let me cast my here, mirror. I forgot how to mirror. Yeah. 2401. Okay, so here is Notion. So this is like my
Wow.
home page. So I can change cover. I don't want to
There
do
are
that.
a lot of things in there.
Yeah, you can put any photo. These are free, or you can directly download from unsplash.com.
So you obviously don't use the free ones, right?
So this is not a so I'm paying $5 a
Oh,
month.
look at that pose.
I'm paying $5 a month because for free users it only allows you to enter 100,000 blocks, and I'll tell you about blocks. So this is my homepage kind of thing. So if I goal setting, task management, everything, and then this is my
I
work.
need my glasses for this. Man. What is going on here?
And this is my work thing. So I use this app for
He's
everything.
got the professional suit and tie. Look at that.
Wow, workspace.
I use it for meeting notes, contact database,
Jeez.
then my leads, pipeline, profit, everything,
Oh, so it's like you said, your CRM, right? Pretty
CRM,
much?
everything. And this in inbox, I won't click on this, but this is just to enter notes and later transfer it to the folder.
Okay.
It has to be. And so how do I enter? So I put slash, and this works same exact way on your iPhone or Android.
So you have your keyboard open at all times.
Yeah.
So
So
as soon
I-
as you open the app in the iPhone, the keyboard opens up?
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So I put slash page. I create a page and I mention notes. And then
Okay.
if I want a toggle, just click here. So like meeting notes, enter, and then I can enter notes whatever I want.
Okay.
And then if it's a checklist, then I'll write list. It's a to-do list. And then I can
Jeez, this
start
is like some
actioning.
intense.
So and then what else is there? So you can change the heading size if you want to add page text, bullet list, numbered list, toggle if you want to enter a code. So the great one, and then the divider is just puts a
Separator.
Separator, yeah.
Couldn't see it in my.
That's insane, man. This is like, I feel like we're in a whole different operating system. Are you hacking?
Wow. I don't
And then
think
you
I
can, if you have team members who are using Notion, so you can mention a team member's name here. You can mention another page in here. So if I enter here, if I
would- a
enter
page.
contact data, so I've made contact database page on
Okay.
my, so I can link it to here. So if I click here,
Wow.
it'll open my contact
I'm
data.
so intimidated right now. I'm overwhelmed right now.
Yeah, so am I.
And
And then you
you
can
guys
add
have
a
swapped roles.
date or reminder. Then this is table.
A board? What's a board?
Board is like Trello.
Oh, Kanban board.
It
oh.
like works like
oh,
Trello.
Yeah.
Um,
What?
Wow.
That's insane. How much you pay for this?
$5 a month. But it does everything for me. This might be the best investment ever on an app after.
So he says for
Uh,
everything he's ever paid for.
That's how I convince myself before every purchase.
Remember episode 1.
And if you have Office, I don't know how you can sync your Google Calendar here. I don't know how, but I cannot do
You need
it.
to pay for it. Are you excited?
You need to
already?
have, I think, Office 365
Okay.
for Outlook. And But I don't want to talk about all the features. Only like note-taking apps.
Can you talk about all the features? It sounds
No,
like
but-
it's
Yeah.
never ending.
No, because it'll come up in when we talk about task management app.
Right.
Other apps, because I use this for
episode 6.1,
use
6.2.
this for everything.
Do you use your shopping list as well on here?
Yeah.
Like your shopping cart and stuff.
So if I just a second. So if I go and mention page, so there is a shopping list page I already have. If I
So
click on this,
now what did you do? So when you click on that, what happens?
it'll take me to this page here.
Okay, click on the one on the right on the main page.
And okay, maybe there's some shopping doesn't want us to show.
Just click on shopping list.
Ah, okay. I think
Here,
there's
yeah.
nothing there. So yeah.
Okay,
there's
so it
nothing-
takes you to
The list which you create.
that actual list
Yes.
and navigates you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then while we are on this page, so you can add cover. So
Okay.
Like a cover
Mention-
photo kind of.
cover photo kind
Wow.
of thing, and you can change it to anything you want.
Who's this made by? It looks so much like Trello.
Trello nowhere comes near this.
No, and
I mean,
in terms of interface, like
okay.
the color scheme and
maybe.
all that kind of stuff, kind of looks like Trello.
And then you
to
can
me.
change like random icons.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And where was I?
He
So
changed
it's
his
like-
entire shopping list. Now it looks like he's going to pray.
Rest for note-taking apps. So I can change the color. So these are the quick ones. I think for you, the code pen. I don't know what's that.
Oh yeah, it's a. You can
And
use.
you can embed a PDF. You can
Oh, you
embed,
can embed
your
Figma
Google
files
Maps.
as
You
well.
can embed Google Maps on
Yeah,
the
and tweet and embed this the coding
Can you-
section. I don't know how that works, but
Oh, it just opens up a little code area, so you can write code in here.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
And then what else is there?
Wow, this is actually blowing my mind. I'm not even joking. This is insane.
You can. So there's unlimited storage. So what people do is they back up their photos in this.
They back up their photos in
Yeah.
this.
So you just need to. So if I create a gallery, this is full page gallery.
Okay.
So I click here. I can just add anything. Maybe if I say contact number and then put choose number or no. Sorry, I need to put mobile phone. So it'll work. It'll show as a phone number. And
okay.
but like I use it for CRM. Imagine for CRM if I'm using this, it has so many features. It has calculations just like Excel. I can put formulas, so it calculates like buy price, selling price, and profit. And if I go back, and then there are
Okay, honestly, this part will not make any sense on the audio. You have to watch the videos
Yeah,
to
that's
make
true.
sense of this, because this is insane.
that's true. Maybe I can make a like Notion tutorial and upload it
Why
on
not?
YouTube. So yeah, so
Notion.
for list, inline list, so I can show you how I use for my task management. We are not talking about today,
No.
but I would like to show you one thing. If I open another page, so there are templates, so you can choose from any of this quick note template if you want to use something like this,
Wow.
or
That's a great way to plan a trip.
coding guidelines. And if you want to write a blog post,
Wow.
so I can show you something. Wait,
So what was the point of your homepage? What was the point of that?
to have everything. So if you look here on the left, it's just personal and workplace. So this is personal,
It's
Uh,
like
this
your
is
different worlds.
workplace. Yeah. In this world, I'm a farmer, and I'm this place like after farming.
No?
And so what did you say? I said okay, something I'll show you. So if I click on Absolute Geeks, I have a page here named Absolute
The
Geeks
Absolute
with
Geeks.
Right.
emoji. And so
The
writing
Absolute Geeks, is it?
did I get it wrong?
It's Absolute Geeks. It's the Absolute Cast, though.
So here it is. Like I can
May 9.
make the page full width, lock the page, export it to PDF.
Oh, you can export it as Markdown. I
Yeah.
like that. I don't know why I'm such a big fan of Markdown. It's
Yeah,
just it's a different. Do you use Markdown as well?
Yeah. After using this, because this supports Markdown.
Yeah,
This app supports, yeah.
it's so cool.
So yeah, if you want to use quick notes, what I do is, because when I want to take a quick note, I'm not gonna open Notion and find the specific folder and everything. So I'll show you the inbox. So this is the inbox.
Your password's there, man.
That's not my password. So that's fine.
I'm not gonna let it go.
So so that's it.
But this is like a mess.
Yeah, I have to arrange them. So this is the last week stuff.
So, but how do you search for something if you want to search?
Okay. So this has a dark mode, maybe.
This is not dark enough?
This is dark mode.
Yeah, okay.
Black on black.
Yeah. So where is the? So maybe not.
You aren't able to search for the search option?
Was it? Yeah. Don't you have a quick find?
Yeah. This is quick find. Yeah. So you can search for anything. So
let's say your MI9 review or like whatever.
So I wrote
right
the
there.
great one, right? So
Yeah.
Great one?
Yeah, he wrote the great one as a
so
quote.
it must be somewhere here. I mean, here it is.
Okay.
Ah. So yeah.
It can search for anything.
You have a lot of great things there. Wow.
Anything great, yeah. Great. I write a lot of great performance and great camera. So I will highly suggest this app.
Does it have a free version?
Yes, but you can. So each. Why am I
It
showing
does have
this?
a free version.
What can you do in the free version? Or what can you not do in the free version?
So this one, if I click on here. So this one thing you see that it's highlighted. So this is considered as one block.
Right.
So you get 1,000 blocks.
In the paid version?
You get 1,000 blocks in the free version.
In the free version, okay.
Yeah, but I will highly suggest to like.
Why do you pay $5 a month? Why don't you just pay for the whole year? It's $4 a month if you pay annual.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be using this app for, because there are new apps
But
coming
you
up.
have like
Kodi.
a ton of things in there. I mean,
Yeah,
where are you
after
gonna switch
this-
this?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, when I started it, I started with a monthly subscription. So
Okay.
that time I didn't know. And it was exactly the same on your mobile phone or iPad
Ah.
or on a browser. It's fun to use on a browser, but it's because it's a little bit more faster
On what?
on browser.
It's faster on the browser?
Yeah,
How does that make any sense?
I don't know.
First on the browser. This is the app you're using, right?
This is the app.
Can you minimize it? You're on full screen, right?
Yeah.
Can
Oh.
you open it in the...
It's like a whole. It's just like a little black window. There's like no. It's got. It's like a lack of interface. Yet it's got so much power. I'm shocked by this. It's insane.
And you can, if you favorite something, if you click on favorite here, why am I? Okay. If you favorite something, it will automatically show up in your favorites.
Right.
So of course I have inbox for quick notes, task manager to like tasking, and goal setting. This feature, like I'll show you in detail later. Goal setting is a superb thing that I think I have developed. That's really interesting. Really interesting. So what I put annual goals,
Mm-hmm.
and then bifurcate them to monthly goals, and then weekly, and then daily.
Comes from your days of bullet journaling.
Yes, actually yes.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've tried to implement it here, and it's working very well.
Nice.
So the top goal would be to increase the number of paid apps that you have, right?
No, decrease them.
Can you do your budgeting on here? Personal budgeting and stuff?
Yeah, so it's here, finances.
Yeah.
So this is like I haven't updated it. So
Oh, it's like an Excel sheet then.
yeah, I can add
Nice.
whatever I want, and then put numbers like what is it?
Wow. But then how does it look on the mobile? Like you can do all of this on
Yes.
the smaller screen and it doesn't get like,
No, you can do it. It's fine.
Okay.
I mean, like it will get small, and you'll have to
Scroll around and
scroll
stuff.
around a lot. Okay.
That's insane.
So that's the app. We will talk more about this app when we come to task management app or
Wow.
financing app or I don't know, writing app. Yeah.
Are there did you buy any paid tutorials to use this app?
No.
Oh.
No, it's
No, but that's really cool. So they've got a native app for Mac, Windows, iOS, Android, web. They also have this ability to switch from Evernote.
yeah.
It's funny that we don't talk about Evernote in this at all. We've not talked about Evernote
Yeah.
because Evernote is like the most, I think,
Most
known.
used and known, yeah.
I don't know about used, but it's definitely. I mean,
Definitely well known, yeah.
I used to use it a lot
Even
before.
even
I mean, my entire the food blog used to run completely on Evernote for the
Mhm.
longest time until we moved to Google Drive.
Okay.
And part of it was collaboration. Part of it was like a lot of I don't actually know why we used it. I guess Google Drive just wasn't as comfortable for us at that point. I don't know, but it just I feel like the app itself is so heavy. It's
Yes,
huge.
it is.
I mean, I still have some. I'm sure I still have some old notes in my Evernote app.
No, even I used to have around 4,000 notes on Evernote alone.
Obviously in the paid version.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
4,000 don't fit
Of
in the
course,
free
man.
one.
No, you can fit it on the free one.
4,000?
Yeah, for sure, easily.
I
It's
was
There was
paying
a
for-
monthly upload limit or something.
Upload
like
Yeah,
that.
but the text doesn't take any
You don't
data.
upload it every time, so
No,
you can
even if you
upload-
upload text, that doesn't take 10 MB. It's I think
Yeah,
10
it's
MB
few-
for a month.
Yeah, it's a very small amount, but it's
Yeah.
more than enough.
Okay.
I never hit
No,
my
60
maximum.
MB.
The only they
Okay.
put a limitation on. Oh yeah, something really annoying happened on Evernote. My image would never show up correctly on Evernote. It always flips it.
Oh.
I don't know if that makes any sense or anybody else has this. For me, I use Evernotes primarily for blogging. Actually, as it turns out, I'm just remembering now. So part of it, like Omnums, is like a major part of why I used to use Evernote. But the other one was my stand-up comedy stuff. So most of my jokes are in Evernote. Most of them. Like, I'm seeing it now. What I used to do is Evernote allowed me to make, like, I just dumped my ideas, just dump the jokes,
Okay.
and then I'd make a new note and then sort of copy paste it and put it into one. I think this, what was it called? What was your app?
Notion.
Notion just seems to have a better grip on doing that as a flow. But Evernote, I stopped using it. I had this other blog that it was just random stuff that I used to talk about. That also used to be on Evernote.
Okay.
But I'm moving away from Evernote completely. I find it too heavy. It's heavy on my system resources. I don't know. I barely use half the features and whatever.
And talking about Notion, let me screen my mirror again one more time.
Screen
Mirror
his
your
mirror.
screen.
Screen your mirror. Nice.
Screen my screen.
Screen your screen. Yeah, sure. We got
So
it.
they have like this thing, what's new. If you click on that, it'll take you to the browser. And they have complete visibility, like what's coming up next, what's on their checklist, and what features are there in the most recent update.
So how long have they been around for?
Maybe 2 years.
Oh, so yeah.
So see,
Their website's so cute.
they're saying like they're bringing API and Zapier integration, better search, timeline view, and better offline stuff. And
P.S. We are hiring.
yeah, and these are like on 29th they released a feature and what features and all.
Wow.
So it's really good.
Okay. Well, we are at over an hour already in this
Oh.
episode. Yeah.
I think most of the time went in
The
talking
initial.
about the
Yeah.
general stuff.
General stuff, which is not bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. So for me, in terms of doing like to-dos and task management, I don't use my notes app for that.
Okay.
Because I asked you that question and you were also talking about yours is that,
Yep.
but mine isn't.
I do have another to-do app, but then for checklist I use the Notes app.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, it's funny that for work I do my checklist on paper
Okay.
for work specifically.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Hmm.
It's maybe a mental thing, and it's if I do it any other way, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I know. I can understand.
If I do it in this way, except when I'm doing like testing, app testing or feature
Okay.
testing or something, then I have like a Kanban
Right.
what's it called, Trello kind of system
Yeah,
where
board,
but I
yeah.
do it in text.
Mhm.
So I have a system and I just write down my notes, and then once those items are
So you'll
fixed,
write the workflow and
yeah, I'll write the
So-
workflow like problems resolved,
Mhm.
verified, and if they're live, and then I'll just make that workflow, and then I'll type all my problems, and then I'll define it in my ticket managing system, and then move it into
Okay.
this again. So it's just the title, so I can, in an overview, I can see it without having to open up this heavy website that takes forever to load. So I have this like on Sublime, I'll have that,
Mhm.
and that's how I manage it, and it works really well. I mean, I know I have to do a few extra clicks, but it's faster when I want an overview.
Okay.
That's how I do that. But it's really weird that like general tasks, like say for example, follow up with so and so person, or make sure, or like write this documentation, or define the features of this thing or whatever.
Mhm.
Big tasks, I write the main thing on a piece of paper,
Mhm.
and then I do the breakdown on my computer. It's a weird workflow, but I guess it's an individual thing. It works for me.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, so with Note apps, the whole point is that we move from a physical
Yes.
space. So it's another one. You know how we talk about what are the things that your phone has replaced? What's the
Yeah.
number one thing that your phone has replaced?
Writing letters.
It's not even that.
Camera.
No. not even
Landline
that.
phone.
Now it's camera.
Yeah, now it's camera.
Yeah.
It's your alarm clock. For the
Yes.
longest time, we don't
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
alarm clocks anymore.
Yeah.
You might have a wall clock
Right.
or something, but you don't have an alarm clock. Your phone is the alarm clock. You won't think of
Yeah.
anything else as an alarm clock anymore.
My parents do use the physical alarm clock.
My parents also don't use it anymore.
No, my parents.
I know yours do, but I'm saying mine
Ah, okay.
don't use it anymore.
Okay.
They
Okay.
used to till recently, till I think no, not recently, a few years ago.
Okay.
But even my granddad stopped using it. Like my grandparents
Wow.
don't use it. Yeah, my grandmom. I mean, she's the only one alive now, but she's the only. She doesn't use it. She uses a phone for alarms.
Mm-hmm.
It's to replace it across generations. For me, I don't know. Your parents
Yeah.
using an alarm clock is a bit different. Maybe they are more comfortable with it or whatever it may be. I still have an alarm clock
Right. but you
from
don't use it.
from an emotional. I don't know why it's there. It's just emotional
Yeah.
some crap. Like it's emotional baggage. It's there. It doesn't even work. There's no batteries in there. It's just there.
Okay.
But my alarm clock is this, or my watch now.
Right.
So like that,
Oh, you sleep with your watch on.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, in terms of like, I have alarms throughout the day.
Okay.
So
Okay, that way.
Otherwise, I'll not eat.
Okay,
for
that's
example.
like that's more like a reminder.
It's yeah. So
Yeah.
no, I have it's an alarm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have to put an alarm for when it's lunchtime, because otherwise I'll at 3 o'clock I'll be like, oh, I kind of feel hungry. Why am I so hungry? Oh wait, it's 3. I've not
Okay.
eaten anything. For that reason, to just give me a track of time, and yeah, for that reason I have it on my, and I mean through my phone it comes on my watch. But
Yeah.
otherwise, that's one. The other thing is notes. I think is one area where your phone kind of is taking over. I don't know if you guys agree with this.
Yes.
I do.
Of course.
But many people are coming back to
Physical,
physical books.
like
Yeah.
your bullet journal.
Yes.
I know I keep talking about it, but that is I genuinely find it really cool.
Yeah.
'Cause-
It is really cool. So a lot of people have asked me, like, when they see my workflow on bullet journal, they are like, it leaves a good impression, but when you think about it after a month,
The
Like,
overheads are too high.
yeah, if you want to search for something, if you
Yeah.
lose it, you're done. I mean, like, if you lose it, that's the biggest fear.
Well, you can lose your digital notes
But
too.
everything is on cloud.
Yeah. it's
No,
on
but that's what I'm
laptop.
telling you. I feel like I did lose notes on my Apple Notes app. I feel like I did. And in Evernote, say for example, Evernote got hacked and whatever, something happened, the
Yeah.
data got deleted. It's a possibility.
Yeah, that's
Much more remote, fine. I mean, that you drop it in water, that's the end of it. This
Yeah,
you drop it
yeah.
in water, I can still access it on the cloud.
Yes.
I do know there's redundancy, that doesn't have
yeah,
it.
it's like traveling by car and traveling by
Yeah,
airplane.
yeah.
The possibility of an accident are much higher on a
On the
car.
road, yeah.
Yeah.
Statistically safer to travel by plane.
Yes. Why was it so?
Yeah.
It's too far from the mic.
Statistically safer, but if you're in a crash, statistically you have a higher chance of surviving a crash in the car.
True.
Depends which way you want to go, I guess. What do you think? What do you think that it's like? What are your thoughts on this? What I mentioned about the phone overtaking.
Well, yes, I think I'm using my phone for almost everything. In fact, I was barely even using my laptop till a few months ago. So I was doing literally everything on my phone.
But you bought a new laptop.
Well, yeah, I did. There
So-
were some things like, especially for blogging, I think that's more convenient. I like typing more on my laptop than on my phone.
Right.
So yeah.
So I'll throw this to you. If you got a keyboard, full keyboard as a Bluetooth keyboard for your phone,
yeah.
would you give up your laptop?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, for typing, yeah, I would. But then there are other things like when I'm adding some picture and stuff, it just looks better on a bigger display.
Right. Have you looked at your analytics to see what's the most used device for viewing on your blog?
Definitely your phone.
I don't remember. No.
The phone's taking over, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because at work, it's I think 80% or something like that mobile phone,
Yeah, I'm sure.
which is a huge percent. I don't know what it is for Absolute Geeks, but I've not looked at it today.
Yeah.
It is smartphones.
Yes.
For us, I think 2 days ago I saw it. It was 70-something% smartphones.
Yeah,
That's
of
a lot.
course.
So that's why if you make it look good on your phone, captivated most of your audience. And if it's someone who's on the desktop, he probably doesn't mind if it looks a little here or there.
Yeah, but for your blog, what service do you use? Squarespace or
I'm using Blogspot.
Blogspot? Okay.
The OG.
Yeah.
One of the OGs.
Yeah.
Because I used to use Squarespace, and they have a very clean interface. You can tap on it.
It's also paid,
Tablet and mobile phone,
Of
smartphone.
course.
They don't have a free version on Squarespace.
Yeah, you have to pay for your blog. But it got
I can't imagine using Squarespace as a blogging tool.
to build your website.
It's more like a
To build your website and then
build your website, more like a business kind of thing, not for a blog, like where you daily write. Was it?
So once the like groundwork is done, so it took me like I've never built an app before. I've built an website before, but it took me around 2 weeks to get
Right.
my website started, and then it's just that. I'm like,
Right, of course.
and then after writing a blog, I can see how it'll look on a tablet or a smartphone. So
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
very cool feature.
I mean, WordPress does that too, which is what our website's built on.
Yeah,
so.
but WordPress, I think it's little difficult. I mean,
But it's. I mean,
maybe it's cheaper, and the user interface I don't like.
It's not about cheaper.
It's not.
It's not about cheaper. You pay almost the same as Squarespace.
Yeah.
So in fact, we probably pay more than what you'd pay on Squarespace.
Yeah.
But it's like you build your website, you have that done, but then you have this system where you can just write. So you have like a writing system, and then it's like the whole concept behind it is very different from Squarespace. Squarespace is a website builder, and WordPress is a system, content management system.
No, but when you want to write in Squarespace in your website, so you open Squarespace, or Squarespace has apps for mobile, like Squarespace Notes. So you write whatever you want, add photos, and then share it on your website.
Oh, maybe we should take this on to another topic. I think that's a good,
Yeah.
we should do that.
What are we
Interesting.
talking? But what are we talking about next time?
What are we talking about next time? I have the episode guide.
Task
Let it be
management
some
apps, was it?
no. Let it be something different. I think
We can. I mean,
maybe
it-
navigation.
Actually, no. Our next
Navigation.
one was supposed to be music services.
Ah, that's a good one.
Services.
Yeah,
That's a
not
good
going to be
one.
like I subscribe to this one, I subscribe to this one, and this one, and that one. I used to subscribe, but we don't talk anymore. And then there's that one, and then there's the other one.
So
It's like that, isn't it?
it's like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Does your wife agree with this? How does she manage your spending habits?
No, but when I use any service, so if I'm paying for something, I'm not simultaneously paying for 3-4 services for the same purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Except for music was one of those.
Once for a month.
Yeah, for a while.
Because when Spotify came, I was too excited
Right.
and just take my money now.
Take my yeah. Oh, did you see that
Podcast.
Huh?
Okay.
What?
Spotify added podcast.
They added it
Yeah.
to this region?
Yes.
Oh, finally. We're already on that.
Yeah, we are.
So you can catch our podcast on
On
Spotify.
Spotify.
now. Yay. I don't know why I pointed at the camera because probably listening to it, I don't know, wherever you're there or in here or wherever it may be. What was I going to talk about? No, I was talking about that weird Game Boy thing. Did you guys see that? It's like this, what's it called? Panic? I think it's, what's that?
Panic?
Game Boy Crank. I don't know what it's called. Completely forgotten the name, but it's this cool Game Boy kind of looking thing. I'll put a link to it in the show notes.
Okay.
But it's this made by this one of these companies that decided that they want to make a new gaming console kind of thing, and it's like it looks very much like a Game Boy, but it has a little crank, and you can use
Okay.
that crank as part of it's like a controller in the game.
Okay.
Wow.
It looks so crazy. It's so weird. I don't know. I got pretty excited about it. Clearly, you guys don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not into gaming.
Yeah.
At all?
At all. Neither am I.
I like gaming on my phone. That's it. Not
I
on
don't
Xbox.
game on
or-
my phone. So yeah.
Yeah, it's
and
called-
even I like those games like Crossy Finger, that Crossy Road, where a duck has to cross the road.
It's a frog, isn't it?
No, duck.
Wow.
Maybe Frog is the free version.
Maybe yeah. This is what I'm talking about. So it's this thing. Okay, so the thing itself is called Playdate. It's by a company called Panic,
Okay.
and I want to show you where they had this little video. Yeah, see, you see this?
Yeah.
So you get this little crank thing.
Oh, interesting.
It's insane. I think from here you can. So as you crank it, like the game progresses based on how you're cranking it. Like they have different games, I guess, for it.
Oh wow.
But it's something very unique. I get excited about things like this, which are just this weird feature concept that's something unique and different. I think this is pretty cool. You should check it out. I was tweeting about this earlier today. So Playdate by, was it Panic? I think the Twitter handle is just @Playdate.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Very
I think
cool.
let's wrap up this episode.
Yes.
Episode 6. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I get the name. I get the episode number right this time.
Oh yeah.
So it'll
Oh,
save me-
that happened to you.
It'll
Yeah.
save me half a day.
What you heard what happened? So
Yeah,
he
he
put
put the wrong
episode
one. Yeah.
was it 6 and then
Only
yeah.
5-1. Yeah.
He's jumped the gun, didn't you? Well, all right. Let's close this off.
Okay, so hope you guys like the apps we talked about. I would highly suggest to use Notion.
They are
Because
not a
that's-
sponsor.
They are not the sponsors.
You're under
Yeah.
the wrong notion.
Yeah. Ignore the puns and yeah, do check us out on all
What's that-
other
what's that
platforms.
song? So I'd like to know where you get the notion. You don't know that song?
Ah,
Hughes Corporation.
no.
Yeah.
Sing it for us.
I did.
While we sign off.
I just
I'll
did.
phase it out. I'll put
just
beats
did.
in it. I'll put beats in it.
Well, okay. Before we close off, do you want to say anything with it before we close off?
Just tell us if you
Android.
took notes about our note-taking apps on which note-taking app, and tell us which one do you use, and what feature you'll want to see in your note-taking app, and tell us how you liked this episode.
All right. And what was I gonna do? I said I was gonna say something.
Sing.
You wanna sing?
No, I'm not gonna sing. I'm not gonna sing at the end of this. No. So I'd like to know where you get the notion. Well, all right. That's us signing off. Thank you guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode. See ya.
Ta-da.